This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Brew Strong is brought to you by Blickman Engineering, home of the Riptide. Visit them online at blickmanengineering.com.
Brew Strong is brought to you by Blickman Engineering, home of the top-tier brewing stand. Visit them online at blickmanengineering.com.
It's time for the beer radio you've been looking for. This is the show that dispels myths, tackles the toughest topics, and makes no apologies for geeking out on beer. Hosted by two guys that drink before they think. Jamil and John Palmer. This is Brew Strong.
Hey, howdy, hey, my brewing brothers and sisters.
Greetings, cretins. It's good to be back.
It is. It's been, it seems like months.
Yeah, quite a couple of months, actually. I think,
right.
Was,
There's like near-death experiences.
yeah.
Outbreaks of some bird flu.
Yes. Travel to distant countries to rescue regimes and so on. And
right, regime rescuing.
Mm-hmm.
There was brewing that happened, I'm told.
Yeah, finally. Took a while, but I made it work. It work. Yeah, it's a pretty cool setup, actually.
You use the Blickman Brew Easy.
Yes, the Brew Easy.
Yes,
I had to. He set me up with the 240 volt.
Right. Okay.
With the tower power or anything, but
right.
Fortunately I live in San Francisco, so I don't have a washer or dryer outlet.
Oh.
So I ended up buying the Hellfire burner.
Oh, okay.
And I bought some fire brick.
Okay, yeah.
And I put it on my roof. Wood floor. No, put it on my roof so I don't melt the roof. But it works pretty well. Yeah, I just set up fire brick and put the Hellfire on top of that, and did it that way. Use the
and then if you have like a big wort spill, it just comes like right through and starts dripping in.
It's fine. Yeah, it's great. I mean, oh come on, the roof's rated for
hurricanes. And
fire brick.
Fog
it's supposed to get moist anyway. So
fire
it's perfect.
brick and 200 pounds of liquid and metal.
It's fine.
It's
fine.
It's perfect.
It's fine.
So this beer, it's fermenting, is it? Or?
Right now, yeah. I got a short spear. Yeah.
A short spear. Is that what you said?
No.
That's what I was trying.
Short spear.
Must be the headphones.
I've got two different names for it depending on how it
turns out.
How it turns out, yeah. I thought, well, if it's
crappy
really good,
or just okay.
Exactly, yeah. I can call it good Schwartzmanship.
Okay.
Or shit, I can call it poor Schwartzmanship. It's a sliding scale, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, after all, you brewed it on Brew Easy.
Yeah. I have to fuck up pretty bad, which who knows.
So
the opportunity.
The fermenter you just have sitting out on the roof, then. Yeah.
Yes, open.
Yes.
Right. You're supposed to just open ferment.
Let the birds help it ferment. Yes.
Yes, Carl the Fog.
Yes. There you go. Well, all right. So, did you have any surprises or joyous experiences while you were brewing your shorts?
Yeah, I found out that I had two. What, Bevo? What was that?
I said chlamydia.
Yeah. There was an infection. No, not yet. I'm pretty sure it's really oxygenated because I kind of ran out of tubing.
Yeah.
You ever just run out of
tubing
length? Don't have enough length.
Yeah.
Because essentially I have to open up my skylight, and I just Yeah. I have to open up my skylight and run a length of tubing from the bottom of the Brew Easy and open the valve up and then go into just gravity, feed it into my fermenter. But
another 10-foot drop.
It was only me who was brewing at the time. And so I barely had. It just wasn't enough.
Right.
It wasn't enough. So I ran down the stairs, downstairs, this ladder to get to the roof, and it was just spraying all over the floor. So yeah.
I've had that
So
experience.
you mopped it back up and rang it.
Just wrung it back into
the fermenter. Oh, good.
Yep. Yeah. So I got most of it in there. Yeah.
And then, how are you fermenting it? What yeast did you use? Did you make it starter?
Saflager. What was it? 37.
3470.
3470. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because apparently that one you can actually it's okay to kind of ferment at little higher temperatures than normal. And it'll kind of deal with that. Well, because I don't have.
What temperature are you?
So I don't have temperature control.
Have you listened to the show at all?
Oh my God. I'm dealing with the best possible situations I have.
You probably want to make an ale at this point. What temperature is it fermenting at? You just leaving it in your house there?
Yeah.
75.
Not that high.
Okay.
No, 68.
72.
68.
68, 70. Is
could be better.
Could be better, yes, but that's why I use that yeast. That's all. What else would I get?
Well,
I got to deal with what I'm given. So that's what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out, and I'm figuring it out.
You got access to quality advice. I would advise you to stick to ales until you get temperature control.
I just really wanted to make a shorts beer.
It'll taste like shorts, I'm sure. The problem
is
beer. That it's way too high a temperature. I know that there's this somehow dream and internet information that's going to tell you that you can do this, and because this magical dry yeast is going to do something for you, but that's a load of crap. I'm here to tell you, this lager yeast, warm lager yeast, is not going to do it.
Yeah. Probably not.
But keep trying.
We'll see.
Keep plugging along.
That's the point. That's the point.
That's the point.
Exactly.
It's the first beer.
Yeah.
There's always the second.
No, he brewed one. Didn't you?
This is actually the second beer.
Yeah.
There's always the third.
I brewed a stout. That actually, it was fine. It was just also very oxygenated. Just
oxidized?
Oxidized. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Oxidized. Yeah. But otherwise, everything turned out pretty good. It just tastes a little like cardboard.
Yeah, get yourself.
But it's not infected, so that's cool.
Temperature control.
And,
that's your next.
I don't know how.
Most important thing.
I don't know if I have room.
Tub of water. Get a keg tub and fill with water and put your fermenter in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can throw in some ice blocks, to help keep it down.
Yeah.
That's the real cheapo way.
Yeah.
The problem with that is, you're over chilling to start, and then
and then it's honestly that little room. It stays. Obviously in the middle of the fermenter, it's going to be a completely different temperature. It can swing pretty wildly because I just have one of the sticker little temperature. It's not one that actually goes into the middle of the.
The sticker one's not bad.
That's fine.
Yeah,
you don't need
it.
And it's.
It is pretty constant temperature. It doesn't change there.
Yeah, see, the problem with non-active cooling is that it's cooling the fermentation more as the yeasts actually don't need cooling. So as the yeast are starting to taper off on their work, you're applying more cooling when they actually need the reverse. And that's why homebrew tastes like homebrew a lot of times, because it's not fully attenuated.
Fully maturated.
You've stopped the yeast when they really needed to be active. You always want rising temperatures towards the end.
Okay.
Well, all right. So, the generosity of our fine sponsor, Mr. John Blickman.
Yeah,
in providing you this equipment. Shows that he just has no common sense. Not a great businessman.
But a generous soul.
But a generous man.
Yep.
I think, shows what a waste that was to get my brew.
Well,
but we're getting a couple of minutes entertainment and education out of it. So
I just spent several days with John Blickman down in Mexico City recently. Yeah.
You guys were getting divorced?
No,
you were getting disease treated?
No, we were down there for Copa Cerveza. They're basically the Mexican Great American Beer Festival kind of thing. Good competition, 900 entries, craft brewers all over the country, and we judged the beers the first half of the week in Chihuahua, where that was the judging point.
Are there lots of little dogs running around Chihuahua?
I only saw one.
Yes,
but he was a feisty one. Yes, didn't want to get onto the spit, but anyway,
he struggled as you were skewering him.
Yeah. But we judged the beers there, and then flew down to Mexico.
You're taking this urban foraging thing a little too far.
But I went down to Mexico City then for the festival at their World Trade Center, Pepsi Center, in Mexico City. It was my first time in Mexico City, and really interesting. Roughly the size of LA, and in terms of scope and everything, I guess area-wise it's maybe smaller, but certainly more people than LA. But fascinating city, and great festival. I mean, we had trade show floor on the second floor of the convention center, and then down below, on the first floor is all the brewing stands. And then it lasted 3 days like JBF, and great beers, great people. Really a really fun time.
All right. Love to hear more about it. Let's do this. Let me tell you about if you enjoy the fact that Blickman is such a poor judge of character that he gave Porno Steve a Brew Easy, and that he is running around Chihuahua with John Palmer. I suggest, and then he pays for this show, so you don't have to. I would suggest sending him an email, a feedback at blickmanengineering.com. Check out the website, all the great stuff. Check out the Brew Easy on the website there. It is a very cool.
Yeah, that's what I brew on as well.
Piece of gear that makes your brewing day easier.
It does.
Thus the name. So check them out, blickmanengineering.com. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll hear more of John's adventures, and we'll have a show about how to deal with Trub in your wort and such. We'll be back right after this.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on 2 gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at blickmanengineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy. Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection.
Do you know the three most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
Back to the beer guys that make other beer guys look like wine guys. Brew strong.
All right, we're back. On the break, we talked about
Thailand.
Adventures that we've had, diseases that we've had while traveling.
Indeed.
Yes. All I can say is, I left October 25th from home.
Wow.
Didn't get back until November 19th.
Just a couple days ago. Wow.
Yeah, and I went to Singapore.
Oh, yep.
Which I did the iBrew challenge again.
Oh, you did?
With
Awesome.
Raymond, and that was a blast. Of course, this time I'm there by myself to do the best of show.
No one to argue with.
No one else. No one to just make sure I'm not, lost my mind. And so there was one beer that really stood out for me. I thought it was just extra delicious. And I'm like, okay, there's your best of show winner. And then I ranked the rest of them, and I gave it the top, the other two runners up or three runners up. And,
silver and bronze kind of thing.
And then everyone's like, oh, really? That one won. That brewer won. Oh, wow. And I'm like, there's something wrong. That was a really good beer. And the guy who judged in the preliminaries, he goes, that was a really great beer. He's like, I'm so glad. Like, he was the only one. He was like, everyone else is like,
agreed with it. Yeah,
they didn't think the guy. They were like, wow, surprised that the guy won. The guy was super nice. He was so shocked that he won. He never thought he would win.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see some of the hardworking brewers there, and the beers were. You know how good the beers were. The last time we were there.
Oh yeah.
Even better this time.
I bet. Yeah.
It's a fantastic festival. I would like to do something like that here in the U.S.
Oh really?
I'll do it in the parking lot of the brewery, and it'll be all home brews, and just like they're doing it.
That would be fun. I mean,
I think it'd be great.
Well, we got. I mean, how would that differ though from what the homebrewing competitions we have all around?
Right. No, because of the way they do the festival, where they've got booths set up for each of the brewers, right? Mm-hmm. And it's got their name, it's got their beer, and then so they have kind of like an initial kind of competition where they taste all the beers and weed out the really bad ones. Okay. And then the ones that are at the festival are all good. And then the brewers go and pour their beers at this festival, and people can drink all day at the festival and try all these different beers. And then, when that person's time is up, the next keg goes on, and so it's hours of these different homebrews, and it's just homebrews. You get to meet the brewer, you get to talk about the recipe, you get to talk about the beer, and no commercial beers there. Well, they have a small thing with some commercial brewers. They had our beer there and some other beers. Yeah. And I think it's really fantastic because we have some homebrew at some festivals here in California,
but not the variety that they have.
Variety, and you want to make. They specifically set up the booth with the brewer.
Nice,
and a sign that says what their name is, and they get a little notoriety, and you get to talk to the person, and I think it's really well done. I really like it, and I think we should set something up like that.
That'd be fun.
Funds going to charity.
Oh yeah.
I think it'd be a blast. Or, and then maybe a little bit it goes to a cash prize for the winner of the fest. They do a best a public popularity vote on whatever beer, and then there's also the little competition that goes along with it, and they do a best of show for that too. Yeah. So
I was recently in Norway about a month ago, and we did something like that in Kristiansand, which is a very nice little town right on the coast. And the local homebrew club all had brewed and had a festival. Basically buy tokens to get half glasses of the beer, and people could vote on which one they liked the best. Right. So it's kind of like a People's Choice Award. And good festival. I gave my usual water talks and maturation talks. But a lovely place.
After Singapore, where I did Thailand, where homebrewing's illegal, and actually like commercial brewing's mostly illegal because you have to be of a certain size.
Oh, really?
So
5'8".
Yes, exactly, and most of the people there don't quite. And then so they're having their beers brewed in like Cambodia. It's one brewery, and then they're all brought in, and then. South Korea. I went there for a while. Again, wonderful country. Love South Korea. It's just a fantastic place to visit, and the people there are just great. And then Japan, where again homebrewing is illegal. And I tell you, it's these places where homebrewing is illegal that really brings the homebrewers out of the woodwork when you show up. It's just like, hey, and you'll ask them, hey, do you brew? And they're like, brewing's illegal. I'm like, okay, I understand. Yeah, in Japan you can't brew over 1%. But
but you can make work.
Yes, and again, I love Japan too. All those countries, great people, wonderful places to visit. If you ever get a chance, I highly suggest it. And I tell you, the quality of beer going out there is even better and better. And went to. Did a collab with my friends at Kyoto Brewing again.
Oh, yeah.
That was a blast. We tried the Polygyle again.
Oh, you did?
And I'm not sure it worked this time or not. I'm still waiting on final numbers. But it seemed like it worked, and then it seemed like it didn't. And we had some challenges because they only have 2 vessels.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, uh-oh, I didn't really think this through. Because at our brewery we got 4 vessels, so we're able to store the wort coming off as the strong wort and the weak wort, and we're able to kind of separate it out that way and first charge it with the strong wort and then rinse it through with the weaker wort.
Oh, okay.
At Kyoto we had to store it all as one, and so we're using a weaker wort overall to initially do it.
Okay.
So I don't know if it really works or not, or I don't know what the hell's going on. But I'm
the
going
numbers should still add up. But
you would think I'm going to go to New Realm in Atlanta at Mitch's place.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And do a collab there in a couple of weeks. And we were talking about doing the Polyguile, and now I don't know. And then we did another one at Y Market, and it's just a blast. Exhausting.
Yeah.
But a lot of fun. Did the American Craft Beer Experience in Tokyo, and it's like a festival of American craft beer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was a blast as well.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of travels, yeah.
Yeah. Where else did you go?
Well, let's see. I did Norway about a month ago. Over the summer, I did quite a bit in the United States. I went to New York City, the Bronx, Brooklyn. Went to some great breweries there. Had some great New England IPAs and other hazy IPAs. Then after that, I took a trip with Lamont, and we went down to Louisiana and Mississippi. Went to Shreveport, and then on down to what's the name? After Shreveport, went to not New Orleans. We did go to New Orleans, but one before that escapes me.
Baton Rouge?
Yes, that was it. Thank you. Yeah, went to Baton Rouge.
Wow.
Look at Steve.
Nailed it.
Pulling one out.
Well, I held up the cue card for him to read. I had a great time touring down there. Had some really good beers down there, and of course, wonderful people. Southern hospitality. Cajun food and so on was great. And then we went over to Mississippi and visited a couple good breweries there. And I should have written this down. But anyway, great trip. And then came back, did Norway, Mexico, Canada, and most recently Brazil. I was just down in Brazil last week in Rio. Went there for the first time. Lovely city. And did a collaboration brew with Overhop Brewery down in Angra del Reis, which is like south of Rio, a couple hours. It's like being in tropical paradise. I mean, bird of paradise, flowers growing along the roads and everything.
Is it different than Friendly Del Reis?
I guess Angra. I'm not sure what Angra means. It might just mean bay. I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
but
could be. I don't really know.
Then we had the Porto Alegre Copa competition there. And judged that. Kind of interesting in both the Copa Cerveza in Mexico City and the competition Porto Alegre. Sour beers, in particular, a Catarina style sour was the best to show. One was a Goza with guava, and the other was a Berliner Weiss with guava, otherwise known as the Catarina sour. And again, it was nice is that both of these sours had a very thorough yet soft sour character, so you could taste like the base style, but then there's this lovely clean guava taste layered on top. So a very nice composition, both beers.
Well, I suppose at some point we should do some work here.
Oh, yeah. We were going to talk about Trub, weren't we?
We're going to answer some questions. These questions people have emailed in to brewstrong@thebrewingnetwork.com. And you can send in your questions. And ideally, if you keep it to one question per email, it's much easier for me to break these up. Versus when you list 3 questions in an email, it generally doesn't get answered because then I would have to copy and paste or something. And, that's technical mumbo jumbo that I just don't have. So one question per email, please. All right. So today's show, we're going to talk about Trub and handling Trub. Porno Steve, first question, please.
This one's about filtering wort.
Filtering wort.
Hey guys, love the show. I wanted to know if there was any reason to filter your wort before adding it to the fermenter. I never have. I'm still new to it, and I've done 4 extract batches and 2 all grains and have very good results, but my buddy just filters everything multiple times. Any technical info would be helpful, as for hops from the boil and other ingredients sit there in the fermenter opposed to filtered wort.
Well, yeah, we have to kind of define filtered here, I think. Generally, a turbid wort, that is a cloudy wort that has lots of fine particles in and so on, contains lots of lipids and other nutrients that the yeast need for a good fermentation. So in that sense, an unfiltered wort is actually better for the final beer. On the other hand, you don't want to throw in all of your boiled hops into the fermenter. That really don't do any good there. So if you can kind of separate your boiled hop trub from the wort without excessively clarifying it, I think that's what you're trying to shoot for.
Yeah. So, this whole thing about, all the break material and the turbid wort and all that is great for fermentation. I don't buy it. I still don't buy it. I think it adds to staling. And you're better off with proper nutrient levels in the wort versus relying on
excess
trub. And I think part of the reason that the trub is, people are like, it's lipids and things. I think it might be a lot of the zinc and other critical nutrients get bound up in the trub in the kettle, and it may be access to that as well that is helping. So actually dosing with the appropriate amount of zinc to start with, appropriate amount of oxygen, appropriate amount of healthy yeast, and leaving the trub behind. There's plenty of trub, even when you can't see it. There's plenty of that break material in suspension in the clear wort. And I think that helps as well. I think, the other factor is, a lot of these chunks are giving more nucleation sites that is helping to drive off CO2, and that is helping as well. I don't think that, I think we should be encouraging people to kind of go down the ideal path. Certainly, you can transfer that.
The middle of the road.
Yeah, the middle of the road, exactly. I don't think people should transfer everything over.
Right.
I don't think people should worry about filtering it out.
Right.
I think, maybe he's talking about straining it out. I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't put like pull off one of my socks and, run it through there. But I would, maybe stir the kettle, kind of whirlpool it, and then drain off through a drain, clear wort. And, if some comes across, that's fine. That's not a big deal.
Right.
But try and leave the majority behind if you can.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I think you want to leave the majority of the trub and hops and hot break, cold break behind in the kettle, because there should be enough nutrition in the wort. It's when you if you were trying to totally clarify the wort by filtering through.
Yeah, you'd literally have to filter.
Yeah, through paper membranes or cloth membranes to get it really clear. Right. But I guess like in the Brew Easy, when you're doing constant recirculation through the mash and then taking that to the boil kettle, that level of clarity is fine. If you maintain that level of clarity going into the fermenter, I think that's probably close to the middle of the road.
Sure. Yeah. I would agree with that. All right. I'd also agree with the great thing about White Labs. They have a pure liquid yeast, which means better beers. They boast, White Labs boasts the highest concentration of yeast in the industry thanks to their patented flex cell technology and pure pitch packaging.
Very nice, yes.
The yeast contained and delivered using these innovations are propagated in all-grain wort, providing the perfect nutrients for growth and optimal performance. With White Labs Pure Liquid Yeast, your finished beers will meet the high-quality flavor profiles that you intend to produce. Discover the White Labs difference. Visit whitelabs.com/yeastbank to find the perfect strain for your next beer. I do highly recommend White Labs products. I think, great folks, great products. They do a great job with all they're doing. I know we use them at Heretic quite often. And I find it quite pleasing. Let's do this. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more of your questions right after this.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU, and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com, also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamil Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn the cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
The 21st Amendment. Watch out! Do you like beer? They make beer. Watch out! Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun. Watch out! Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment. Watch out! The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring Monk's Blood. Made with real monk. Watch out! So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment. Watch out! This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
Back to the two guys that know how to turn beer into beer. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back.
Yes.
Ooh. Next question. Pornographic dildo, Steven.
This one is about Trub and brake materials. I believe you guys have covered various aspects of this question in previous shows,
yes,
but I may have a slightly more specific question for you. What negative consequences would I expect to see from transferring all of the brake material and Trub from the kettle to the fermenter? I know you've said to whirlpool and then transfer after a 20-minute rest to minimize the amount of brake and Trub transferred, but what are the specific reasons for doing that? Is it reduced haze in the finished beer? And what type of off flavors might you expect from transferring all of it to the fermenter? The reason for me asking is that I have a Blickman Boilermaker brew pot, and it has a pickup tube that siphons down to within 3/8 of an inch to the bottom of the pot. I assume this transfers a good bit of brake to the fermenter. I'm wondering if I need to save my pennies for a Blickman fermenter conical so I can just transfer the Trub and brake to the fermenter, then wait a little while and dump it before pitching the yeast.
Well, that's certainly a nice way to go with a fermenter where you can drop the material at the bottom. You know, the problems you have with the excess of fatty acids is an increase in staling. Yeah. The problem, like John was mentioning earlier about transferring the hop material, is you tend to extract more of those chlorophyll and
the grassy flavors.
The grassy and can lead to a harsher bittering. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons why you don't want the hop material in there either. You can even extract some color, additional color. So, you just in general don't want to transfer all that stuff.
Yeah, and we often talk about a scarcity of nutrients, for being harmful to fermentation. Well, you can have an overabundance of nutrients as well, excess lipids, excess amino acids, and this can actually lead to more aggressive yeast growth and more byproducts like more diacetyl and so on. So yeah, there is definitely a middle of the road that you want to hit when you're talking about Trub and so on in the fermentation.
Excess of free amino nitrogen causes problems as well. Yeah. Just talking about the whole nutrient thing, people have been throwing in, more fan into their beers.
Oh, yeah.
And you really don't need that in all malt wort. If you're going to start adding a lot of adjuncts, a lot of simple sugars, well, yes. Yeah. Then you might need to
we're talking
supplement.
Like 30% here, too.
Right. But if you're not doing that, then adding free amino nitrogen, you're going to decrease the quality of your fermentation character. It's you're gonna end up with a lot of off flavors. It can get solventy. It can and it's a common problem.
Yeah.
Where people think, oh, I'm making a big beer, I need more free amino nitrogen. No, you've got an excess in there already. Yeah, you don't want to do that. And that's part of the reason that a lot of times the bigger beers do get that solventy thing.
Yeah, and goaty flavors and so on. Yeah,
you need to be very careful of that, I think. So, good question. Next.
Question next. This one's also about yeast, Trub. After switching to dry yeast, they all are. Oh, wow. Wow. What a coincidence.
I think you just spoiled the surprise for Porno Steve there.
Right.
Yeah, damn.
You were going to get to the end and go, what a coincidence.
What crazy. Everyone had the same question. After switching to dry yeast from vials, I've noticed a larger amount of Trub created. Does pitching rate type of yeast affect the amount of Trub produced?
Right, so they've been using dry yeast. They went to liquid yeast, and he noticed that the amount of
the yeast layer.
I think, I'm not sure whether they're talking about like the Braunhof, or they're talking about the amount of yeast in there. They got to be talking about the amount of yeast, and I think I would guess that either they're pitching more live yeast now versus
before.
Before, a lot of times part of the problem with the dry packs is people don't store them properly either. They store them hot because they're like, it's packaged yeast. Yeah, and then
on the counter.
Right, versus, a pack of yeast that's kept in the fridge and it's fresh, and but people tend to store the liquid yeast at a much more controlled temperature, which I think helps. And it may be other parts of this person's process have improved. Maybe they're making starters now. Maybe they're providing proper nutrition, oxygen.
Well, he was saying
like
he had been using liquid yeast and switched to dry.
Is it?
Yeah. So he may be actually over pitching with two or three packets of dry, which tend to be actually like 1.5 billion per gram or something like that versus the liquid.
Right. So maybe. I thought he had switched the other way. So maybe, maybe he's pitching a lot more yeast now.
Yeah, but as you say, there's so many factors that affect total yeast growth.
Right.
Style of beer and wort nutrients and so on. So could be a couple things, but he's seeing.
We're assuming that's what he means by Trub.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's do one more.
Sure. This one's from Matt Smith.
This is about Trub?
Yeah. How'd you know, dude? Oh, my God.
I'm on a roll.
The great Karnak.
One of the smartest. He can just... Hi, Jamil and Rock Candy.
Rock Candy.
Is that your nickname?
It is.
Well, way back, yes.
Way back when. Cool.
He's hard, sweet, and sticky.
All right.
He's my rock candy.
Oh. I just started using a shiny new conical fermenter, and I was wondering about the procedures you guys use in dumping the Trub. When you do dump, do you pitch the yeast in this process? Is dumping really necessary? I hope I haven't caused too many bathroom jokes by saying dump so many times. Who am I kidding? Of course I did. They know us so well.
See, long-time listener.
Yes. Well, see, dumping Trub. Yeah, I mean, I've talked to Blickman about this and as well, and you've used them over the years. Just dumping like an inch or two a day seems to be a good way to do it, rather than trying to wait several days and do a big log. Just doing a little bit every day seems to clear it out well without it sticking and getting stuck,
getting jammed up.
Yeah.
Perhaps he needs more fiber in his wort. Yes, citrusol. So just pour some in. No
hop bits. Yeah.
Right. I think the disadvantage to taking many small dumps is that you're wasting. You might be wasting more liquid.
Okay.
The advantage of letting it all compact and come out in a big solid log is that there's less liquid in it, right?
Yeah.
If you don't mind dumping a little excess beer, I think that it certainly will flow smoother. If it's looser, it's a little
so
more
again,
liquid.
we're looking for that middle of the road kind of consistency.
Right. Yes. Yeah, you don't want it all hard where you got to pry it out with a stick.
Right.
You don't want it just shooting out as liquid all over the place.
Good point.
If it's generally if you go to you check it and there's it's pretty much all liquid and very little material, I would just leave it.
Right.
If it's starting to thicken up, go ahead and dump some. I think either route would work. It's just if you're concerned about the amount of beer, I would just make more wort. That's what I always did, was just make more wort. So I ended up with 5 gallons of perfectly clear beer, and so I would make enough wort in the kettle. That's all of the recipes in Brewing Classic Styles leaves behind like a half gallon in the kettle. And you're transferring each step. You're planning on losing that, and you should transfer enough to the fermenter that after you dump as much as you need to dump, to each his own on dumping, and then you transfer into your fermenter 5 gallons of clear beer,
the keg.
So you just use like a little bit more malt, a little bit more hops. and you end up with 5 gallons of clear beer, and you plan on throwing the rest of the way. A lot of times people are trying to eke out every last drop, and I don't think they need to.
No.
No. Speaking of brewing classic styles, a book John and I did back in
2007?
2007, yeah, I think. Somebody just asked me recently when that was. Well, now it's 2018, and you can use the code BN2018 at the brewingnetwork.com to join the AHA now, or probably renew your membership. And any of those memberships is done through the web banner there at thebrewingnetwork.com. You receive a book.
A free copy.
A free copy of, I believe, Wild Brews or Farmhouse Ales, and I think Brewing Classic Styles was in the mix there.
It should be, yeah.
I think it holds its
own.
It's a classic. It's a well-respected tome of knowledge.
Yes,
So,
it certainly is. Even when they find out that I actually didn't write any of the recipes.
You sounded like half convinced there, John.
Well, no, it's just I was thinking of the irony when so many people come up to me and tell me what a great book that is, and it's like, well, yes, but see, those actually Jamil wrote. That's Jamil's book. That's all the recipes are hip.
Well, thank you.
I did the index. That's about it. Yeah.
Most of that Schwartz beer. This is one of your recipes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I changed, I think, is
it's
the
one of
yeast,
your recipes,
obviously,
but
black malt.
I've changed.
Yeah.
I've changed the recipe. It's your recipe, but here's all the things I changed. I hear this a lot. It's like, yeah, it's your recipe, except for, well, I changed this, and I changed, and I did this, and I did that. Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. At least people have a starting point. Mm-hmm. I would recommend new brewers just
brew the recipe.
Just brew the recipe. Just stick with it. Mm-hmm. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll finish up with your questions right after this.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing. Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out, or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
Learning to brew has never been so disgusting. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. In the break, we're talking more about travel.
Yep. Pining for the fjords.
Pining for the fjords and the pines in the fjords. And the fjord pines. Mm-hmm. Yes. That wasn't your boat that sank that destroyer in the Norwegian Navy, was it?
No.
No.
It was the next one.
You're like steering and, hey, let me steer. John, I don't think crash. No?
Yeah. I was throwing rocks off the upper deck. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. John's known to have some fun.
That's true. Yes.
Nothing destructive, though.
Right. No. And, nothing documented. So
nothing documented. Nothing that he's been prosecuted for.
That's right. That's right.
Right. Just like our good friend John Blickman. Do you think he's been in prison?
No, I don't. I think he's managed to get out every time.
Yeah, I think that's where he lost that finger.
That could be. Yeah,
I think he lost
Windows.
That.
Yeah,
right. I think it was. No, I think Sal in the next cell. Exacted a price, took a piece, something.
Or Sister Mary with the steel ruler.
That is very likely. Yes. That would explain a lot.
Yes.
Just whacked his tip of his finger off while he was smarting off to Sister Mary. Or he was giving her the finger or something, and she just
she took it. Yeah.
Like a ninja, she took it. That's right.
Ninja nuns.
Ninja Mary. All right. I think we got one last question.
Yeah. This one's from Aaron. He writes, I'm writing you at 1:41 a.m. after a nice brew session gone bad.
Oh, sounds like Porno Steve's brew sessions.
Mm-hmm. I was brewing a nice IPA.
He doesn't write us and ask us for advice. So,
that's right. Yeah, he just tells us about it afterwards. We can't do anything to correct it.
I was brewing a nice IPA with 4 ounces of hops when it came time to transfer from kettle to fermenter. And things went hellish. This is what I did. I got my wort spinning nicely and let it sit for 20 minutes, and then ran my immersion chiller until the wort got down to 65. Then removed the chiller and carried the pot to my base bin to transfer the wort to the carboy. I had a really hard time separating the break/sludge. I tried using a funnel filter and then my grain bag. However, the sheer volume of hop sludge kept plugging my attempts to get the wort to the fermenter. Is the issue moving the kettle? What should I be doing to prevent this?
Use a hop strainer.
Yeah, well, and a lot of this, he was saying he was trying to strain it out. I don't like a lot of the straining things because I question how sanitary they are a lot of times. All that freaks me out. And then the extra exposure to the air and all that. What I like to do is move the fermenter to the kettle.
Good point, yeah.
And then a piece of tubing that's long enough from the kettle to the fermenter.
Yeah, like at all times try to use gravity in your favor, or use an auto siphon or something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, instead of trying to carry the whole thing and then try to dump it in and you're already
over,
shaking it around. Yeah,
that can work. Yeah, put your kettle should have a valve on it so it can be easily drained without moving it. And Blickman Engineering, don't they sell bulkhead?
Bulkhead fittings and
fittings
so on.
For if you need to retrofit to your kettle, or they sell some really great brew kettles.
Oh yeah,
the Anvil Brewing,
Anvil line, the Boilermakers.
That's a cost-effective piece of equipment that all has valves on it.
Well, the other thing that struck me in his email there was the fact that he whirlpooled and then chilled with his immersion chiller. Whereas I would chill with the immersion chiller, then whirlpool because to get the cone of debris,
or do them at the same time.
Exactly,
and then you're whirlpool chilling.
Yes, speeding up that chilling. And but then, the whole point of spinning it is to get the cone of material in the center, which may or may not work well depending on your system, but. Be as it may, you should get less debris over on the side where the bulkhead fitting goes through, and your dip tube. And not to overly advertise my own products, but on the Anvil kettle line, we have the hop strainer attachment, which goes on the dip tube. It's that stainless steel braid.
It's like a condom for your dip tube.
Yeah, prophylactic.
Prophylactic for your. But it's a stainless steel mesh
that attaches the dip tube and really does a great job of filtering out the hop matter. It's why I mean, in my own brain, that's how I invented it. I started playing with the mesh and made this thing, and it really works. Even with the hop pellets, 4 or 6 ounces of hop pellets, it will keep all that out of your therminator. You don't want to clog your plate chiller, so it works really well.
There you go. All right. I think that is a fairly decent show of fine information, travel tips, and stories, and what have you.
And filtering Trub.
And Trub. Questions about Trub. They were all about Trub.
They were all about Trub. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you can stay tuned, and we have another show coming up live right after this. If you enjoyed this show, make sure to check out all our fine sponsors. Check out Blickman Engineering, of course, blickmanengineering.com. Innovating your brew day.
There you go.
Making great stuff to make your brew easy. Right, Porno Steve?
Yeah.
There you go. It made your brew
It's easy.
That's right.
Until
you're on the roof with fire
bricks.
And too short a piece of tubing. Check them out. Check out ylabs.com. Check out the AHA. And sign up for a membership if you haven't. You can do so on thebrewingnetwork.com. You can check out the stuff in the store as well. Brewingnetwork.com/store. They've got all sorts of goodies in there, and everything you buy at the store goes to the bottom line of the Brewing Network and helps keep shows like this on the air. Until then, everybody, brew strong.
Brew strong, everyone.